What's going on, boys and girls? I hope you had a great weekend. I wanted to jump on and talk through the opening home game of the season against Leeds United, where we came out 5-0 winners. Um, Everything kicked off with the parade of the new star boy in Eberechi Eze. For me, as someone who is a big softie, I loved every second of that. Like, for that guy to get his moment in the sun and to just be embraced like that by the Arsenal crowd was just such a cool moment. Like, I think I've watched the intro video with Righty about 100 times, and it literally gets me every time. I've also just watched his interview where he, just talks about the journey he's been on. It's a full circle moment for the guy. Like, to be let go by the club at age 13 and to now be at a point where he's coming back in as the guy that's going to kind of deliver us the ultimate prize. Like, I've loved every minute of it. Like, for me, this was the one player I really, really wanted us to get our hands on this summer, and to know that he is now officially an Arsenal player, I'm just so happy. And I'm happy for him because he just comes across as just such a genuinely good guy. And for me, we are getting a player who is not only in his prime, but he's now had a taste of silverware. And I think he just wants more. He just strikes me as so hungry. And I just think he's going to have such an impact on this team. And I just can't wait to see him pull on a shirt and start playing for us. It's just going to be so cool. Moving into the game, look, I think leading up to that first goal, I'm not going to sit here and lie, I wasn't that impressed, and I was a bit disappointed. I just thought, again, it was just too slow, too methodical, too much kind of passing amongst the defenders, going back to the goalkeeper, resetting, realigning, and going again. Like, for your opening game of the season at home, playing against a newly promoted side, in my opinion, give the ball to the attackers and let them do their thing. Like, just let them go all out attack, and just get the crowd going, get an early goal, and just go. And instead, it was just this kind of same old, like I said, methodical, sideways, backwards, resetting, realigning type football, which to me it just doesn't do it for me. But anyway, we got the first goal from a set piece, of course. Timber with a neat little flick onto the back post, and we kind of grew into the match from there. I'd like to touch on Timber because for me, he is probably one of the most underrated players at Arsenal. He has been, since he signed for this football club, a minimum 8 out of 10 in every game he's played. He's just so rock solid and just such an all-round good footballer. In my opinion, when he's fit, he is our starting right back. I love Ben White. I think he's a great player, but Timber to me is he's just such a good player. He's just such a good player. Defensively, again, really solid. Calafiori had some good moments going forward. I thought he kind of interchanged with Madueke quite nicely on that left-hand side in the first kind of 25-30 minutes of the game. I thought Rice and Zubimendi, look, they definitely need to kind of find their feet together, and that will come in time. I thought they were much better than they were against Man United, as you'd expect at home against Leeds. But again, I thought they were good without being great. Zubimendi is definitely a great reader of the game. He's always kind of there in the right positions to kind of snuff the danger out. I think that first chance that Gyokeres had, that was off the back of Zubimendi kind of winning the ball back and getting a quick ball to Gyokeres. So yeah, good without being great. I thought Odegaard, again, kind of similar story. Looked good without doing anything spectacular. The one thing I do like about Odegaard this season compared to last season is he's definitely more willing now to kind of take some shots and have a go, which I like. There was a moment in the first half where he got the ball off Saka, and rather than kind of holding onto the ball too long or trying to find some safe pass out to the left, he just went for a low drilled shot to the near post. And although it went wide, it was just nice to see him just take a shot. I want to see more of that from him. I don't think we can talk about the game without focusing on the fact that we have lost two of our most important players to injury. To lose both Odegaard and Saka in the same match was pretty devastating, particularly when you think about we're only 2 games into the season. They both had pretty significant injuries last season, and we've got Liverpool away next week. It was pretty hard to see them both go off. If I had to take a guess, it looks like the Odegaard one is less serious. But again, that's just off the face value of it. I haven't read anything this morning that kind of confirms how bad either injury is, but it is looking like it's pretty unlikely either of them will play against Liverpool, which is a really, really big loss. I I thought Saka looked really kind of promising and dangerous, as he always does. He got a great goal for the third goal, which again just shows how important he is. He's one of the few players we have where when he gets a chance, 9 times out of 10, he's either scoring or creating something or causing panic and danger. So to lose him against Liverpool is a really big loss, but it was really nice to see him get that goal. As I mentioned, I thought Madueke played okay. I thought he's probably the most lively of our front three in that first half. Had a few nice moments on the left, but without question, once he got shifted over onto that right-hand side, once Saka went off, he just looked like a different player. Like, I think he is, without question, more confident and more assured of himself on that right-hand side. So it was nice to see him get some minutes. I thought Gyokeres, I think Gyokeres is that type of player. I think we have to accept that Gyokeres is not the silky, technical footballer who's going to have all these intricate link-up type of plays in his game. He's going to probably be quiet for 60 minutes and then score 2 goals. And I think what he does do really well is he's very good at pressing. He's very aggressive on the press. He's got a work rate like an absolute animal. And, in that first goal, that is what he does. Runs through, runs into the channel, gets the ball, and his first thought, more than anything, is to cut back in and get a shot away, and he scores a goal out of nothing. Too many times last season, whether it would have been Havertz or Martinelli, they get onto that ball, they go to the corner, they stop, they cut back, and they pass it back to a Rice or a Partey, and the move kind of goes again from there. So to have a player like Gyokeres, whose first and only thought is to get that ball, cut back in, and get a shot off, is really refreshing. So it was just really nice for him personally to get those 2 goals, get the monkey off his back. It just lowers the talk around, can he do it in the Premier League? When's he going to get his first goal? He's got his goals now. I'm glad he took the penalty. There was some noise online about, he should let Dowman take the penalty, get his goal at 15, blah, 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 home debut. Nah, bun that. For me, Gyokeres, he's been brought in to score goals. So to get him the 2 goals just means that he can go into that Liverpool game and the rest of the season knowing he's good to go. So really happy with that. And of course, we got to see the celebration, which was cool. I thought Nwaneri came on and did a really good job, kept things ticking over. It's really important for me that with this signing of Eze, that Nwaneri still gets his fair share of minutes this season, because I think he's an exceptionally talented player. And I want to see him to continue to develop and play a role in this team. My only criticism of Nwaneri in this game is I found like he was doing what Odegaard did last season, which was he was getting the ball off our defenders like deep in our own half. And I just don't see why our number 10 has to be that deep. Like, I want Nwaneri on the ball inside our attacking half, not back in our defensive line from Gabriel and Saliba. But yeah, I thought he kept us ticking, which was great. Obviously, Max Dowman came on, got 30 minutes, home debut, age of 15, ridiculous. The confidence this kid has is just exceptional. Like, there was a couple of times where the ball was pinged over to him from the left-hand side, and he's just taking it on the half volley on his left foot and just going at the defender. Like, just, he's such an all-out, direct action type player. It's crazy that he's 15. Like, I genuinely can't believe he's 15 years old. And then, of course, he wins the penalty for the 5th goal in extra time. Just an incredibly special talent who I think, for me, Dowman does exactly what he did yesterday. When we're in a comfortable place in a game, 2-3-0 up, 15, 20 minutes to go, you bring Max on to give him some minutes, to let him feel what it's all about, and just to kind of keep his development in that sense. I don't think at any point this season we should be relying on Dowman. Like, I've heard people talk about, if Saka's injured, to play Dowman against Liverpool. Like, to me, that is crazy. But great to see him get some minutes and make his home debut. I thought Mosquera, when he came on, looked really solid. I've been really impressed with him. I think he is a really good, talented footballer, and I think he's going to play a big role this season. He looks really assured, comfortable on the ball, can make a tackle, doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. He came in at right back, which is obviously is not his natural out-and-out position, and just looks like a really solid player. No Martinelli, which I thought was interesting. I'm not going to lie, I did feel a bit sorry for Martinelli. Like, I love Martinelli. He came into this football club when we were in a really bad place, and I think ultimately he's such a hard-working player. But the simple truth is he's been well below standard for a long time now, and it was about time that someone else was given their chance. But I just think with the kind of welcoming of Eze, the Max Dowman, the Madueke, like it just kind of felt like that moment where Martinelli was probably sitting there on the bench just going, this could be the beginning of the end for me, and I felt for him a little bit. So I think what will be really interesting is to see whether he starts or gets any time against Liverpool, because you've got to be thinking, like, if Saka's out and Odegaard's out, if Martinelli doesn't get any game time against Liverpool, then are we in a position where maybe he's being considered for a sale before the transfer window ends? I don't think we should, because I think yesterday's proved that squad depth is vital. But yeah, I felt a little bit sorry for Martinelli yesterday, if I'm being really honest, which is probably not the mentality you need to have when you're trying to win the Premier League, but I can't help it. I like the kid. And yeah, so great performance, great win, top of the ladder, no goals conceded, 6 goals scored, and now we move on to the big one, Liverpool away. I can't remember the last time we won at Anfield. It is without question probably our hardest stadium to go to outside of St. James's Park. I think if Odegaard and Saka are out, which will be devastating, then I think you're probably looking at Eze in the 10, Madueke on the right, and I'd probably go with Martinelli on the left just for his defensive work rate capabilities. I think the truth is, against Liverpool away, we're not going to have much of the ball, or at least we're not going to have the majority of the ball, and so the defensive work rate that Martinelli offers, I think, is key against a team like Liverpool. So that would be my front three. If Odegaard's fit, then I'm probably going with Madueke on the right, and I'm probably putting Eze on the left, because I just think Eze has to play. He has to be put into this team from the get-go. So yeah, all in all, really positive day outside of the 2 injuries to Saka and Odegaard. And roll on Liverpool. I can't wait. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in a couple of days when I preview the game against Liverpool. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.